Hi, I'm Rusty Vernon, President and Chief Investment Officer of Vernon Management Group. If you're new to these videos, today we're going to be discussing technical analysis. Specifically, we're going to be discussing technical analysis of an individual stock, how to make a purchase on a timely basis, and also how to limit your risk. Hello everyone, this is Rusty Vernon. Today we're going to be taking a look at Nvidia and trying to decide if it is still a buy. I guess most people are aware that about 4 weeks ago, Nvidia announced earnings and the stock jumped up $76 for the week. A lot of people would look at that and say, well, the move is over, and I missed it. So what we want to try to decide today, or at least try to get an idea, is Nvidia worth holding if you already own it? Should it be sold if you own it? And, the larger question, if you don't own it, should you buy it here? Or if you do own it, should you buy more of it? So just want to do a quick review. And I think the clues that I want to take a look at are the long-term view of Nvidia. And so I have this monthly price chart going back to, I guess, 1998 when they IPO'd. And what I wanted to try to look at is what happens or what has happened to the Nvidia stock price after a giant correction and then a recovery and then a breakout above the old peak. So first thing I want to do is go back here to January 31st, 2002, where the stock peaked at $6.06. And if somebody waited long enough, the stock finally crossed above that peak on November 30th, 2006. So it took 4 years for this stock to reemerge from this correction. At the low, it got down to 60 cents, so it lost 90% of its value. Just want to stop right there. So another valuable lesson in why people need to use stops when they are trading stocks, because even great companies or great new companies can lose a great deal of money, just like this one shows, goes from $6 to 60 cents. So, but if someone would have taken a look at this right here on November 2006, there was an opportunity to buy. And then if you just played the higher lows, you would have said, well, the stock put in a low here, and then it broke out. Then it put in another low. We had a second breakout. And then finally, the financial crisis took hold. And right here, you can see that all of that was a sell if someone were paying attention. So really, the losses would have been minimal, depending on position size. But most people, if they're following stock prices in any kind of trend, would have realized this is definitely a sell signal. And that occurred on January 2008, really the first or second month of the financial crisis when that got started. So after the financial crisis, like a lot of former leaders, there's a lot of overhead supply, and it takes a long time for these stocks to come back. But Nvidia did finally come back, and on this date, which was May 31st, 2016, I guess that's 9 years later, Nvidia finally crossed that peak price of $9.92 that was made in 2007. The closing price that month was $11.68. Now, what I want to look at today is what has happened in the last 10 or 15 years when Nvidia has crossed one of these peak prices after years and years of price decline and then recovery. So the month of May 2016, the stock was up 31%. Very similar to over here, May 31st, 2023, the stock was up 36% for the month. And then what I want to look at is how low did it go the following month? So we can see the low price was $11.14 the following month. So the drawdown from the closing price the previous month was only 4.62%. That is a really, really tight trade. And not a whole lot of risk, was involved. And then you can see if someone were to buy that new high price and breakout. So literally the trade went for almost 3 years. And this trend line held the stock in place. The buy was at $11.68, and finally the sell was at $52. So 5 times your money on this particular trade. But the most interesting thing to me is that there was only a 4% risk involved. So then we had this peak, and then the stock corrected, and it drops from $73 all the way down to $31. So more than a 50% haircut. Then we have the recovery, tried to break out here, but then closed lower. This right here is the COVID correction. And the stock, went all the way down to $45 from a peak of $80. I mean, so a lot of stocks during that brief 2 months went down considerably. And then we see that again, May 2020, May's, magic month for Nvidia, I guess. But the stock was up 21%, closed at $88. And then if someone were to buy on that closing price on the breakout high for the month, the next month, the low was 86. So the closing price in May was 88. The next month in June, the low was 86. $2. The total drawdown from that previous close was less than 2.5%. So really, again, not a whole lot of risk involved in buying this breakout monthly close. So here we go again. The last price is 88. It peaks at 346. So I guess that's 4 times your money on that one. Then we go into a correction, and then here we go again. Magic month of May 2023, we closed 36% up. And the closing price for the month of May was $378. So far, the low for June was $373. So we're talking about $5, less than 2% risk buying this closing price. And now the stock is up, well, at this moment, almost 8% for the month. So I think it really it pays to study how stocks behave after a correction. Nvidia right now appears to be doing what it's done in the past, which is rally off of a closing breakout high price. So the message here today is just because the stock is up, it can definitely go a lot higher. And you shouldn't look away and try to find, something else to buy just because the one that you didn't buy is up big. Hey, thanks for watching today. We'll be posting a couple of times a month. If you have anything that you're specifically interested in, please comment below and we'll try to post about it.